Hi, my name is Will Smythe, and I'm a Program Manager on Visual Studio Team Services. I'm super excited to tell you about the newest way to interact with VSTS, the VSTS Command Line Interface, or VSTS CLI. So we'll start with why we created a new CLI and who we built it for. Next, we'll look at what it does, including the commands it supports today. Then I'll show you the CLI in action. If you've ever dreamed of creating a pull request from the command line, you do not want to miss this. Finally, I'll show you where you can get more information and how you can actually download it. So why did we create a new CLI? So first, we recognize that command line has proven itself over time to be a super efficient way to interact with certain tools, especially developer tools. So much of what we do as developers revolves around workflows, which are oftentimes a lot easier to drive through a command line and typing versus clicking. Second, CLIs are great for scripting because they operate at a higher level than APIs. This typically means higher quality scripts that are faster to write and easier to maintain. We also wanted to create a CLI that enables you to automate interactions from Bash or PowerShell or whatever shell you prefer. Next, we wanted users running on Linux and Mac to be able to interact with VSTS, either directly or from shell scripts, just as easily as users on Windows. And we wanted it to feel natural to both acquire and use. Finally, from the start, we built this new CLI to be open and extensible. It is built on the open source NAC CLI platform, which is the same base as the Azure CLI. By being open source, you can take the CLI, adapt it if you choose, and build or contribute your own commands. Now let's take a look at what the CLI can do. So the VSTS CLI preview supports a good set of commands across build, code, and work. This initial set of commands is typically focused on making individual developers more productive. So some of the things you can do. You can queue a build and check its status from the command line. You can create a pull request, add reviewers to that pull request, vote on a pull request. You can create and update work items. You can also do management type activities like creating projects or accounts. This is only just a start and just a very small view of what you can actually do right now. We're going to be adding a bunch more commands over time. The VSTS CLI was also designed to work really nicely with the Git CLI, although having Git and using Git is not a requirement. So, for example, instead of typing VSTS code PR from the command line, you can just type git PR. Other non-Git related commands can also be aliased through Git as well. Also, most VSTS CLI commands require arguments like your account URL and your project name. But the VSTS CLI will automatically detect these values when you're running that CLI from a local Git directory. The CLI does this by looking at your configured remotes. This is a really nice time saver. So enough talking, let's see the VSTS CLI in action. So for the demo, I'm going to walk through a typical developer bug fixing workflow, and I'm going to do it completely from the command line. So I've already installed the VSTS CLI and I've logged in. For this scenario, I'm going to pretend that I've just been assigned a work item from my manager. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go look at that work item. So I can use the VSTS command line to go look at details about a work item. So I've supplied the work item ID and it's told me some basic information. The work item basically is wanting me to go remove a Hello World example folder from our repo. Sounds pretty straightforward. So I'll go ahead and create a new branch. This will be a local branch that I can make this change in. I'll go ahead and remove that Hello World example folder, and then I'll go ahead and just commit this change. Okay, pretty simple stuff. Haven't done much. With the VSTS CLI, it's really been the Git command line up to this point, other than the VSTS work item command. So I've gone ahead and pushed my changes up as a new branch to the server. Here's where it starts to get interesting. I can now use the VSTS CLI or the Git aliasing of the VSTS CLI to create a pull request, for example. So I'll go ahead and say git PR create. What this has done is it's gone and created me a pull request on the server. I haven't had to go into the web UI to create it. It's used my local branch as my source branch, and it's used my repo's default branch as my target for my pull request. So you can see I have my pull request, it's created, it's in an active state. I'm going to go ahead and just update it now to automatically complete whenever all the policies are done, when they've all passed, that is. So I'll go ahead and put the ID here. Okay, so my pull request now, once all the policies have been met, is going to automatically complete. So let's now go ahead and look at those policies. So just like in the web, I can, from the command line now, see the different policies that have to be met in order for me to check this pull request in or to merge it into the target branch. As you can see, there's a build that's running. I can go check the status of that build. I can see that it's actually just completed. So if I go back and look at the policies again, I should see that first policy is approved. Great. So now I need to go ahead and link this pull request to a work item. Okay, that's pretty easy. I can do that through the command line. So I'll say VSTS code PR work items. Cool, so now I've linked my pull request to my work item. So if I go back and look at my policies, I should be just a little bit closer now. Looks like I just need to do one more thing, and that's to have somebody vote on it. Because there's nobody else around right now, I'll go ahead and just approve my own PR. Normally you would not want to do this. So I'll go ahead and use the set vote command to approve my own PR. So now if I go back and I look at my policies for this pull request, you can see they've all been approved. So what should have happened now is my PR should be approved. So if I go and look at it, it should be showing as completed. And it is. So my pull request is completed, which means it's merged into my target branch. What I can do now is I can use the command line to go back and actually close out that work item that I was originally assigned. So my work item ID was 419, and I'm going to go ahead and call it done. Cool, so I've gone completely from the command line to taking a bug, fixing it, creating a pull request, taking it through all the review steps, and then actually resolving the bug at the end. There's a lot of other cool commands that are available in the CLI. For example, I can go look at all the active PRs for the current repo that I'm looking at. I can also look at other repos, or I can filter it by other status to see maybe all completed pull requests. There's a bunch of commands under build and work, and we'll be adding a lot more over time. So hopefully you enjoyed the demo and are super excited to start playing with the VSTS CLI. So to learn more or to see the different download options, go to aka.ms/vsts-cli. To access the source, open bugs, feature requests, or to contribute, go to github.com/microsoft/vsts-cli to check it out. Thank you.